Tuesday, we come in. It's a calm week. We meet with the host, photo shoots, promos. It's calm, nothing crazy. Wednesday, we have our table read. Starts around between 4 and 5 o'clock in the afternoon. We'll start the table read. We read through 40 some odd scripts for the night. During that,
40 like individual
40
sketches.
individual sketches, and I'm taking notes. Okay, in this one, Kate's going to be an anglerfish. Okay, Kate's going to be a blobfish, or Kate's going to be Giuliani, or some. I'm writing my little notes, trying to figure it out in my head, so that later on at the end of the night, after we're done with the table read, there's a creative design meeting at the table, and the cast and the writers will come over to us. So table read's done about 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. We meet up again at 9 o'clock at the design table, and that's when the cast and the writers come over and they start talking about their sketches. So from those 40 sketches, they'll pick 14 or 15 sketches that we're going to run for that night, for that week. So that we're going through each sketch, and they'll say, okay, so now Kate's going to be a blobfish. We'll take that one as an instance. So I've read blobfish. I've sat on my phone, looked up blobfish, and I'm like, okay, how are we going to do this? But okay, wait till they come in, the writers come in, and they'll show me, this is a blobfish, and I want Kate to look like this. And I'm like, okay, well, that's a beautiful blobfish, but this is Kate. How we're going to marry these two and still see Kate and not cover her with this whole big
Now, how closely do you work with like the writer and Kate to figure out that look?
Very well. We're pretty close. Like I'll meet with the writer. Kate and the writer will come over to me and be like, what can we do? How are we going to do this? So then I'll give them a couple of ideas. I'll explain it to them in words. And then I usually come downstairs to the lab after the meeting is done. And then I'll sit in front of my computer and do a little Photoshop render. And I'll composite the two together really quickly and send them an email. Say, we could do this. I'll send them like 2 or 3 different options. We could do this, this, and this. And they'll say, okay, well, let's try option 1 or option 2. Then go to the next step. So that's Wednesday night. Thursday morning, I'll come in, I'll take her life cast, or whoever's life cast, and start blocking out rough shapes in clay, just to see what will work, what won't work, what's going to fit, what's not going to fit. Once I've got a rough idea on Thursday, that's when I'm also figuring, okay, how do I break this down? Do I make this big face? Do I make a little face? Where's this piece going to end? Is it going to end here? Is it going to end here? What's going to be the quickest way I can glue this on and make it look as seamless as possible? That's all in the design of the pieces. That's one of the things I've got on a movie. You can do it anywhere because you've got hours. You can take your time. On SNL, I'll be like, okay, I can end it here because they're going to have a pair of glasses on, or I can end it here because it'll go in this little crease of the eye, or I can end the piece here. It's kind of knowing.
So it's not only thinking about the aesthetics and sort of what's going to best sell the piece and serve the performer, but you've also got to be thinking about, well, what's practical for the time you have to pull this off.
Exactly. Where can I put this? Where can I end this piece? Where can I make it so that it's going to hide it the easiest and be the easiest and quickest to put on? So it all, and that, I'll tell you another story that bit me on the butt down the line. But for this particular case, I'm like, okay, we figure out, do the rough sculpture. So that's Thursday, I'll sculpt. And there's also rehearsals going on. And this is only one character out of the show of 14 sketches. So that's shut, and then we'll have maybe another political character, we don't know the cold open yet, so we're waiting on what the cold open's going to be. So the whole show is going on. We've got pre-tapes going on sometimes on Thursday, but on Friday there'll be pre-tapes.
These are like the digital shorts.
The digital shorts.
Right.
Back then it wasn't as much. Now it's become a huge. We do 3 full film segments on a Thursday.
And you're involved
Friday.
with those as well?
With those as well, yes. So back then it was a little calmer.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's gotten crazier.
And I imagine the process for the digital shorts is a little bit more involved because you're not thinking about quick changes as much, right? That's more like traditional production?
No, well, it is, but also a short, I find out Thursday morning, it needs to be ready Friday morning. So
wow.
I don't have that extra day to build it. I've only got 1 day to build it. So we've had to do old age makeups on Kate and 80 in one night. We've had to do Fred's head splitting open for the Jesus Uncrossed. We had one night to build a mechanical head of Fred's that would split open in half, gush blood everywhere. So in one way, it's a savior because we can make it the way we would want to make it, but it's also a curse because we've only got a day to build it all. Instead of
So
having,
you're never not under the gun.
no, it's always okay. We'll either have an extra day to build it and do it on Saturday and have no time to glue it, or have time to glue it down but no time to build it because we've only got one day to build it. So either way, we're damned if we do, damned if we damned if
So
we don't.
now for these digital shorts, so you say those are what, Thursday or Friday?
Thursday. Sometimes we do them on Thursdays. Sometimes we'll do them on. Most of the time, we do them on Fridays.
So you're not physically here then?
So I'm here Thursday. If there's a prosthetic or a character makeup that needs to be done on the show, on a pre-tape, like I said, I've got a great team. Most of the time I can send them out on shoots and not have to worry. Occasionally, if it's a big character, a big makeup, a big prosthetic, or a big change, I go there in the morning, 6 a.m. I'll be here till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. 6 a.m., go straight to set in the morning, get them all made up, put the makeup on. They look good. Okay, camera's rolling. Okay, good. I'll see you guys later. Go to the studio, start sculpting, waiting to find out what's going to be in the cold open, building the stuff for the cold open, getting all that ready, and then finishing up pre-tapes in the studio, finishing up whatever has to be ready. Facial hair gets built. It's got to be styled and curled and cut and trimmed. It's a crazy world of that too, because you think hair would be the hair department. Facial hair is makeup. Top of the head is the wig department, is the hair department. So like we get all the facial hair, so I'll have to style and curl and put all that together. So that's the Friday now. We've got Thursday morning, sometimes 6 a.m. till Friday, 1 o'clock in the morning. And then go home, sleep for a few hours, and come back at 9 a.m. the next morning on Saturday and start getting ready for the actual show that we've got to do Saturday night.
And again, I think some people know this, but maybe not a lot of people do, but you actually do 2 full shows Saturday night. You do dress and air.
We do a run-through in the morning at like 1 o'clock, do a full dress, everything at 8 o'clock, and then the full show at 11:30, live with everything.
Now, is there ever a moment where it's like, okay, this cast member has a lot of very involved makeup going from this sketch to this sketch to this sketch, and suddenly the order gets shaken up between dress and air, and you're like, oh, I can't pull it off? I mean, do you ever have the opportunity to put your hand up and go, this is not going to work?
I've tried. All I get is, you could do it.
So you can't say no.
Can't say no. I don't. I think I.
Wow.
I think I. If I don't think I've said no in my 25 years I've been here. I've protested very heavily, but and there have been times where it failed. I mean, I can count on one hand the times it's failed.